On that subject, Jay Carnes, Brennan always gives Michael a run for his money in their spy versus spy type battles. What is it that makes Brennan such a formidable foe?
Can I just first say, I think we should spend this time just asking Bruce questions. Thank you, Minister. Because it's like watching a rock star work the crowd. It's unbelievable. It's like a comic and a rock star doing both.
You know, they talk about Evil Dead next question, so.
I'm sorry. What was the question? Like, it's what makes Brennan a great villain. When Matt was first explaining this character to me, he said that the unique thing about Brennan, and it was, I believe, the first villain that fit this bill, he doesn't believe anything Michael Weston says to him. When Weston's telling him the truth, he doesn't believe it. Yes? And that even when he's maneuvered into a position where he can't do anything, Weston's got him and he's got to do what Weston wants him to, he still knows he's being played. And that makes him a formidable villain, and you sort of know, oh, next time he's going to up his game a little bit and come back and give Weston a hard time. Although, my pitch, and we've talked about this a little bit, is Brennan coming back as the client rather than the villain. I don't know if that works or not. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. I'm here. Ben Shankman. I haven't seen this bit yet because I live in Canada and I can't watch it for free on the internet, so... Tell us a little more about Strickler. He seems like he's a shady character, so give us a little more insight that you can without Matt killing you about Strickler.
Because I think Strickler's just come on, probably. Right? The last one was the first one, so we haven't seen too much. But Matt said that one of the things that, when we were talking about the character, he said that one of the things that he enjoyed about Michael is that he was always able to smooth talk people into doing things that weren't really necessarily in their best interests and make it sound perfectly reasonable. And so that he thought it would be great to have a character that did that to Michael. And so without saying too much more, I think that's one of the things that is going on between Strickler and Michael, is that he's a guy who has what on paper sounds like a kind of win-win, perfectly reasonable sounding proposal for our hero. And then, of course, the plot thickens.
And last but not least, Seth Peterson. How has Michael and Nate's relationship grown since the start of the series, and how does that change your approach to playing Nate, the ne'er-do-well brother?
Well, you know, what hasn't grown is my facial hair. I think that's been the number one key in turning the character around for me. I remember when after the show first aired, I went and took a look at the notice board in USA, and they were like, "I hate that guy. What is with the goatee?" And man, I got a lot of hate from that. So, you know, my next time in, maybe it was a couple episodes later, Michael says to Nate, "You shaved the ferret off your face," and I have a feeling that that had a lot to do with the progression of the love, you know? I mean, it's helped me. I feel much better. I feel much lighter. For sure.
Sweet candy. Okay, before we take the audience, if you guys, these are some internet questions. We all know how good those are. If everybody that has a question from the audience wants to do the lineup in the lineup place, which I believe is right here. Is it just right there? Just right there. Okay, good. Make them good. There's 4,200 plus people here. Don't be asking people what they like to eat after work or anything nuts like that. Here's some internet questions for members of the panel. This is from Dee in Pasadena, California. She asks, Bruce Campbell, could give you... First there's a statement from Bruce, and then we'll have a question.
There is a brief statement. I would like to make a brief statement. My good friend Matt Nix and I have had a very serious discussion because people will not stop asking about another Evil Dead movie. Matt has agreed to write a spy horror combo bladder. Dead Notice. I don't know when he'll have time to write it, but he's assured me that he will do it. And we'll be back at Comic-Con to promote it. Yes, sorry, I digress.
Bruce, if the writers could give Sam Axe any cover ID you wanted, what would that be?
A normal person who isn't pounded by morons all day long. No, that's a silly question. Silly answer. Well, they sort of done it with Chuck Finley. My alter ego is Chuck or Charles Finley. Why, I have no idea. But it's an easy name to remember. My dad actually had a friend named Chuck Finley. So it was a very strange parallel universe intersection that took place there. My dad knows a guy named Chuck Finley, and my side knows Chuck Finley. That's all I have to say.
Wow. That's a first. Okay, for Matt Nix, as writers, do you put things, this is from Sharon in Leesburg, Virginia, and she asks, as writers, do you put things in the script just to see if the fans will catch them? And have we missed many?
That would be telling, wouldn't it? I have to start by saying I'm sort of obsessed with this Dead Notice thing. Yeah. There's a reason you want to fight a zombie with a chainsaw. They move slowly, so. Actually, the answer is yes, we do put things in to see if the fans will catch them. Yeah, that's a great example, yeah. We are actually completely unapologetic. It's called name checking, name checkers. So you will note that Fiona's boyfriend's name is Campbell. That in the first season, Gabrielle Manoir plays Fiona, and there was a bad guy named Anwar. But also, directors who we've worked with tend to recur on the show as bad guys. Tim Matheson has done some great work for us as a director and also as an actor. He plays Larry, a recurring bad guy for us. And there was a bad guy named Matheson recently. Last week's episode had a bad guy named Chechik, named after Jeremiah Chechik, who was a director we worked with a number of times. The other thing is, I don't know that anybody would notice this, but restaurants are typically named after writers' children. So the Carlito, where they hang out, is named after my son, Charlie. And bad guys often hang out in restaurants named Dito's or Alfreditos after his son, Alfredito. So I don't know that that's that exciting, but yes, we put all that sort of stuff in. And, yeah, you probably miss it because you don't know all of our family names.